Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/GoldenBoot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. Got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. What's good with you, my boy?
What's happening?
Hey, I snuck off today. Got to watch Ant-Man.
I don't watch movies, so I don't.
It's a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it.
Jonathan, I do want to see Creed 3 though. I do have to see that.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors is an incredible actor. I gotta watch Creed 2 first, and then I might go see Creed 3.
Oh yeah, Creed 2 good though. Creed 2 good. I would say
don't.
I like the first one better, but Creed 2 is good.
Yeah. I just feel like sometimes if you don't see one movie and then you go see another, it'll kind of throw you off.
Yeah, you'd be missing parts and missing context and all that.
Right. It'll feel awkward. But man, tonight's gonna be a great show, man. We got a little surprise in store for y'all. But first, man, let's start off, man. Let's talk about this baseball, man.
Let's do it.
So, LSU baseball, people were kind of in their feelings a little bit last week with a big loss, a huge loss to Iowa. And when I say big, just in score, not in magnitude or what it represent, but just in score, big loss. They bounced back on Tuesday with a big win over Texas. We talked about that. Then they came into this weekend playing a 3-team rotational. It's not really a tournament, but
round robin type,
deal. They played Butler on Friday, Central Connecticut on Saturday and today, and then they'll finish off with Butler on tomorrow. And Butler and Central Connecticut also played each other. Man, dominant is not necessarily a word that we use lightly. Dominant is probably the perfect word for how this weekend went.
Yeah.
So far.
That's fair.
People were talking about they want to see more home runs. They to see more offense. Definitely got that.
Yeah, the team looked elite this weekend for sure.
Yeah. You got young players, got in the game, played plenty. And when I say got in the game, I mean like fourth inning, fifth inning on playing the rest of the game. So that was, check. Yeah. Check. Hey, I'm going down. Check. Tommy Tanks gets his first home run of the season. Check.
Last.
Check. Paul Skeen came out, another double digit, you know what I'm saying, day with strikeouts. Check. What more y'all want to see?
You got another one you could check. Trey Moore
Okay.
can play in the outfield. I mean, I think we've kind of got our answer on that. He's gonna have to change his name from Stretch Man to Dive Man or something because he was making some web catches out there.
Hey, that dude is an athlete. I love it. I want to see him play another infield position as well. But
interesting.
It's not necessarily because Jay Johnson said that he would have been a perfect third baseman, but he's
he was right-handed.
Yeah, he's left-handed, so that's kind of the reason why. But that's one reason I say I would love to see him. I wouldn't mind seeing him at second, but you got Dugas. You know what I'm saying? You got it. It's just I would mind seeing him play a different position. But we got guys in those positions, and you don't want to really.
Yeah, I was against him. I was against moving him out first, just because of how good he was defensively at first. But I mean, if he's making plays like that in the outfield, I mean, he could save you a run or two in the outfield. You know what I mean? You know, in a game just by making a double or out.
Right,
so
right.
I think his defense. He's shown his defense is going to be good to elite no matter if he's at first or in the outfield. So you're not really missing much from him defensively no matter where he's at, whether it's left or first base.
Yeah. Paul's brings up a good point. Said Beloso, check. Said he might take Jones' spot in the lineup next week. Yeah, Beloso came in and got some great hits, great at bats. So
yeah, good to see him bounce back from that injury, man.
That's got to be one of the sickest feelings, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, that's baseball, man. Wow, what a weekend. Want to shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out our good friend Julian. Says ready for a great show today. Yes, sir. This old vet says same Julian. Our resident remember Tony Reale from Mr. You know what I'm saying, the fact check. Our resident fact checker and Mr. Chuck says checking in from Monroe. Good evening. What's good? What's good, Chuck? Josh in the building, as always. And like we always say, man, we'll appreciate y'all for being here. Continue to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your aunties, tell your cousins, baby mamas, baby daddies, they folks, tell your baby dad, the other baby mama, all of them. Let everybody know. Tell your dog. If your dog got a YouTube, he can subscribe too. We are still trying to give away this money. Go ahead, subscribe, help us hit this 1K. You could win $100. So yeah, we trying to make things happen. Miak Mike in the building. What's good, Miak?
What up, Miak Mike?
Holden says, I tweeted a few days ago, LSU women's sports is dominating all sports. Love them, love for them queens. Yeah, shout out to Women's History Month, and the Lady Tigers. They failed yesterday. We're gonna talk about that. And them softball queens, man, them diamond queens been doing their thing. So shout out to them. But it's time, man. It's time. Oh, I'm waiting on somebody backstage to turn their camera back on. Get right. Always. Just bet he was eating. I bet he was eating. All right.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But ladies and gentlemen, the crew.
What's up?
Y'all don't get no claps.
Why we don't get no claps, man?
For what?
Damn,
FMLA been up.
Yeah.
Hey, they brought us in right after the baseball talk. You see that thing?
Y'all what? Okay, I'm sorry. What? Tell us what you got to tell us about baseball.
I ain't got to love it. You did right.
Okay.
Go Tigers.
Y'all ain't gonna say I like they Cracker Jacks.
Hey,
they got good popcorn and nachos. Say what, Chris?
And May y'all start watching baseball.
Why May?
The tournament, ain't the tournament around May?
No.
Hey, what is it?
No.
I'll start watching it. Tell me when it's over, and I'll watch the last game.
Hey, I like LSU baseball a little bit now. I ain't gonna lie now. I watch it when they get crucial, when they about to start competing for something.
Hey, now that softball, I'll watch this. I'll watch softball. I definitely watch that.
Zay in the building. What's good, Zay? and Julian said it's in June, Chris. LOL.
Oh yeah. Hey, I had to give my boy Julian his props. Y'all need to bring him back on for more baseball.
For sure.
He know his stuff.
Yeah, of course, Julian will be back on, man. We already worked out. Julian got more scheduled appearances than y'all, man. Listen, Julian no. But nah, man. Good to have y'all back on. I don't know if y'all realize, man, we approaching 1 year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
I
It's
don't
been
know what
awesome.
the anniversary was because I don't even remember my relationship anniversary.
Oh.
Well, it hasn't been a year yet, Chris.
Oh, I got married Friday. I forgot to tell y'all.
Congratulations.
Bro.
Yep.
That's something that'll get some hands.
You can get some claps for that one, you know.
Yep. Got married Friday.
What you had at the reception?
I ain't have a reception. I eloped. I just did it.
Hey, smart man.
Yes,
smart man.
Congratulations,
bro. Congratulations.
I listened to Coach
Leach.
I can't think of Mike Leach. Listen to him. Went and did it.
Well, look, let me ask you this then. If you didn't have a reception, what was y'all first meal?
My wife, she liked Mexican food, so we went to a Mexican restaurant.
Y'all ate burritos as a first meal?
No. I ate something. I don't even know what it's called. That's how bad it is, dude.
I bet it had cheese in it too, didn't it?
Yes, it had cheese. Plenty of cheese.
He had a honey bun for
He
his.
didn't have cheese. I ain't eating.
Chris, quick question. Are you gonna take her last name?
No. No.
Hey, what's her last name, Chris? Never mind. Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
Yeah, but everybody says congratulations. Congrats, Chris. You know what I'm saying? Giving you your shout outs, man. But congratulations, man. That is good. You know what I'm saying? Many prayers and you know what I'm saying, on this journey, man, is one step at a time, one day at a time.
Yes, sir. So appreciate you.
A lot of prayers for your wife because she gonna need them.
Hey, even the Justice of Peace said the same thing because he know me first.
See what I'm saying? Everybody who know they know what's up.
For sure. For sure.
Yep.
They said man had I don't know what he said, a burrito.
A burrito.
Hey, Dan, you see what you started, bro?
Oh, man. Wait, we just
man,
speaking the truth.
We dipped the honey bun in the
queso sauce.
Hey, I thought y'all forgot about the honey bun, man.
Boy, never. Hey, so speaking of the honey bun, all right, so I just found this out. In Kansas City, apparently, it's a big deal for them to put chili on like cinnamon roll or like honey bun, something like that. Would you try that, Chris?
I ain't tried that one yet.
Would you?
You said yet.
Hey, I'm open to try anything with food, but man, that's a little.
Have you tried a naked meat pie yet?
I had a meat pie. Remember, I came back and said I had one. Remember?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, he said it was nasty, but we know he went ahead about 3 more the next day.
Hey, the next day I went back. I got 2. You were 1 off. I got 2 more the next day. Yep.
What's good? What's good, cousin Nikki? Cousin Nikki.
Yeah.
All right. All right, fellas. Let's get to it. Women's basketball. Ladies, our Lady Tigers fell yesterday in the conference semifinals to Tennessee. They had a big lead though. At halftime, it was a 14-point lead, and Tennessee came out, chipped away, and winning the game by 2. LSU still had a chance to win it, but missed a final second shot. Tennessee did play South Carolina today and got mollywopped. So yeah. But thoughts on the game.
I mean, that's what happens.
I didn't personally see the game. I saw the end of it. But when I checked it on ESPN, it was 25-8 or something like that. I thought it was over with it. Because I was at the Crawfish Bowl. When I come back, we lost by 2. And I seen what Angel Reese had a controversial foul at the end. I don't know. It could have went either way. She did kind of, but I probably wouldn't have called it. But yeah, we had a chance. They shouldn't let them come back with 25-8 lead. It should have been a blowout.
Bingo. I mean, it's gonna be controversial, but you could argue Kemoka got outcoached in the second half. I mean, Tennessee made adjustments. And went to that little zone and kind of was able to keep LSU offense in check, and they was able to make a comeback, and LSU really couldn't do anything. I understand that last call was controversial. You could argue either way, but it shouldn't have came down to that last call. LSU shouldn't have gave up that big lead. And if you want to be on the level of a South Carolina, you can't give up those types of leads. You see what South Carolina did to that same Tennessee team. So if that's the level you're trying to be at, you can't give up those kind of leads. You can't play like that in the second half. You gotta once you have a lead like that, you gotta keep your foot on their neck. And LSU wasn't able to do that.
Two people in the comments said the same thing. Marv said they got complacent. Andrew said to watch the whole game, we looked too complacent throughout the second half and moved very little. Yeah, go ahead, Dane.
Yeah, I feel like probably good that they did lose to Tennessee, because losing again to South Carolina right before the tournament, but I mean, you do hate to lose, especially with that kind of call. I just honestly, this entire season, sports in general, I just hate the fact that referees can cost you some games. Again, like Ann said, like Chris said, yeah, but at the same time, I'm tired of seeing referees make calls. Just let them play. I'm tired of seeing referees decide games. That's all I'm saying. Now, of course, they should have never. That's what I'm saying. They should have never gave up them points, them 17 points. But at the end of the day, I mean, hey, you hate to see it go down like that.
Who can you look up the halftime score to that game? Or was it the halftime score?
No, it wasn't 25-8. The halftime score was 50 to 36, if I'm not mistaken.
See, they should have pushed it. They should have put that far out a long time ago.
For sure. But yeah, like I said, I've been cheering for the Lady Tigers all season. I think they're gonna make a deep run in the playoffs. I don't think they're beating the Gamecocks this year.
Playoffs.
In the tournament.
I'm sorry, 40 to 26. Not 50, 40 to 26.
It's 7 teams in the tournament. I think will beat LSU.
7?
Wow.
You said 7? Let me see.
I'll take Chris.
It might 5 to 7. 5 to 7. Stanford, I think, can beat them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think Stanford, obviously South Carolina, possibly Iowa, possibly Indiana, UConn. I'll give you about 5. And then obviously Tennessee.
UCLA.
Tennessee,
they just played for it.
I'll give you about, and Baylor possibly. So I give you about 5, 6, somewhere up in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Miak says, I think the Lady Tigers have an Elite 8 run in them. I think they'll learn from the loss and get better. Ryan says he said it looks like only Angel and Lex were the only two that came to play 40 minutes. Yeah. So
they should make the Sweet 16 for sure.
Yeah. Well,
but wouldn't Tennessee be a team they might the same caliber team they might meet in the round of 32?
Nah, Tennessee probably be like a 4 seed, 5 seed, so they wouldn't see them. 32.
I think if they play Tennessee again, I mean, it wouldn't be a close game. I think they beat them again. Just being honest.
It was a close game the first time they played them.
You're right. It was.
Yeah, I just got a lot of faith in them.
LSU,
they also
dumping people like South Carolina.
I'm not saying
they have a lot of talent. Yeah,
I'm not saying they wouldn't beat Tennessee, but I'm just saying Tennessee they gave them trouble the first time they played, It ain't like the Georgia game where Georgia was close and then they blew them out the second time. Both games with Tennessee been close.
And would you say Tennessee got some prestige to them? Would you think they?
Oh yeah,
know,
definitely got prestige.
see,
I mean,
I think that matters in sports.
Since Pat Summit, left, they haven't, really been the same. But this coach right here is bringing them kind of back to that level that they was at. Obviously they're not at the Pat Summit level, but they relevant again in the sport. So I mean, they definitely got some prestige though. They was out top 3 program in women's basketball of all time. I mean,
see, that's why I think that matters in sports, especially college. I don't know why, I just do.
Talking about what the blue blood
prestige
factor.
Yeah,
I think it matters on the women's side. On the men's side, it does to an extent, but it's I don't think it's
not
the
as
same.
not as much, but it's more parity on the men's side.
Yeah. I did what I heard. My little brother, he came in to say something interesting. He was like, North Carolina, I think Duke, and who else? It's another top team that we usually see at the top. Ain't there this year. I ain't been keeping up with men's since I've been women's like that. But that's Kentucky.
I think you can make an argument that even for the men's, those blue blood programs, it can play somewhat in the psyche of a player. You know what I'm saying? It can be a mental thing.
Yeah, I mean, it can, but like to me, men's basketball has more parity, meaning that there's a smaller gap between the blue bloods and the other schools. Whereas in women's basketball, you got your blue blood UConns, Tennessee, South Carolina, Stanfords, who are far. The gap is bigger between the blue bloods and the normals in other schools in women's basketball than it is in men's.
For sure.
I don't think LSU was looking at Tennessee like that since what's her name? The coach, the famous coach in Tennessee, Miss Pat. I don't think they're looking at them like that no more right now. But they definitely, I still feel like the fans know that we were Tennessee. I don't think nobody looking at them since she ain't walking on the sideline right now, mentally messing them up right now. Now, if she was still there, you could say that about Tennessee, I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. She had that REMO effect. Just him being on the sideline make teams fear.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. We talk about the parity. The biggest thing when you've got on the men's side, you got players leaving, 1 or 2 years, into the program.
Yep.
And then you have a mid-major or a team that's considered a mid-major, have their guys coming back, and you got talent versus experience. That's why you see a lot of parity. On the women's side, you staying all four for the most. I mean, I could be wrong. But
you staying off for them. I mean, look at Aaliyah Boston. She's best player in the country last year. Came back. Caitlin Clark came back. I mean, they come back in women. But I will say this though. I think your point is true for the most part for like the past 15 years, however long that one and done's been in place. But with the transfer portal, I think that's gonna change because I think some of those mid majors who had 3-4 year guys, some of those 3-4 year guys are gonna find their way to P5 schools after their second year once they've shown that they could play at a bigger level.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll have as many of those, VCU, Loyola, Chicago type schools, who's 4 or 5 year guys who stuck together and played together the whole time playing these Power 5 schools.
I don't think them schools that you name have just the players like they can just go to Duke and start. I think they just got good.
They ain't got to go to Duke and start though. They ain't got to go to Duke and start. Can they go to DePaul and start? You know what I mean? Okay. Can they go to it? You know what I mean? Like it ain't got to necessarily be to a blue blood, but can they go to a bigger level? Can they, instead of being at VCU, can they go to Virginia Tech? You know what I mean? Instead of being at Loyola Chicago, can they go to Northwestern? You know what I mean? They ain't got necessarily go to a blue blood, but just to a bigger program.
Can they be at LSU and go to Gonzaga or go to Georgetown?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how much like look at I know we saying that because the coach came with him, but like the KJ Williams of Murray State and stuff like that, how many of them are gonna stick around, you know what I mean, and stay at
Paul. Let me ask you guys this. is it more of a point than it is in because in football, right? I mean, you can only 4 teams right now can play for the national championship in football. But when it comes to basketball, if you get into the tournament, any team has a chance. So just thinking for some of these teams, you know, we've been together for 4 years, 3 years. We have a pretty good solid team. Why take a chance to go to another school
I'll tell you
that's
why.
possibly not a mid-major, but it's a little bit better than us? I'm going by myself, and I possibly lose a chance to go further in the tournament, which will allow me to get more exposure.
Because you're coming from a conference where only one team makes it into the tournament. Most of those smaller conferences are 1B leagues. So not only do you have to be a good team, you have to win your conference tournament to even get a shot to make it to the NCAA tournament. Where you can go to a Power 5 conference and you can finish, 500, whatever in the Power 5 conference and make it to the tournament. You have a better chance of making it to the tournament at a Power 5 school than a G5 school, no matter how good your G5 school is. Because if you lose, you could, like, prime example, there has been a Louisiana Tech team that went 23-5 and didn't make the tournament because they lost in their conference tournament. If you're 23-5 at any Power 5, you're a top 10 seed, top 6 seed in the tournament. So just being at a Power 5 school gives you a better chance to make the tournament.
Right. So if you're a top-notch player on the VCU team, let's say VCU is pretty excellent this year, are you transferring from VCU to go to LSU next season?
Not to LSU, honestly. I mean, because no, it's no knock, but I don't know if LSU right now gives me a good chance to make the tournament next year. You know what I mean? But I would transfer from VCU to Virginia Tech or Virginia or North Carolina State or somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
Julian brought up kind of example. He's a good example of a G5 player going to a Power 5 is Miami's Noshad Omir. He was at Arkansas State and was the player of the year, transferred to Miami and succeeded, had 6 games of a double-double. He says, and kind of this about the parity and what Chris was saying about those teams being down. Said, by the way, Miami won the regular season ACC champ. And they are the number 1 seed in the conference tournament.
Miami they've had pretty good teams for a while on the lower
they had a real good one last year. They made it. I think they made it.
Sweet 16, I think.
Sweet 16.
What's that other Florida junior college or something down there? They always make.
You talking about Dunk City? That was Florida Gulf Coast.
Yeah. They always in.
They coach. They ain't. I mean, they've been back to the tournament like once. When that coach left and went to USC, and they really ain't been the same since then. And he's still at USC too. He parlayed that one run in the tournament to a USC job, and he's still there.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that. This old vet, I got you. We'll get to that. Says LSU men had a close one yesterday with Florida until it wasn't close no more. Same thing we've seen. Basically, it gets to the end and then they collapse, fall apart. So now, I don't know.
Hey, I want to say, I ain't gonna say it.
I'm about to say something too. But I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I was surprised though, bro. Like,
nah.
I told Pooper.
Told me what? Told me what?
You, as an LSU fan, you get everybody a chance. Nope, everybody got a chance. You're going to give them a fighting chance. But I told you, the basketball team wasn't going to be that good this year.
Did I disagree? Said they weren't going to be that good?
No, you didn't really disagree. You kind of, I don't know, they bring in some good players and all, you gave them the run.
I said that.
Thank you,
no, what I said was the coach. I said that Matt McMahon is a better coach than Will Wade. I said that.
Yeah, you did say that. That's what we disagreed with.
That's still to be determined. By the way,
not my opinion. He's got more tournament wins.
We talking about
LSU.
And okay.
Ooh.
The who? The
All
who?
across the basketball.
Hot take, Chris.
Stop it.
Who?
Hot take.
Y'all think so?
what?
Stop
No.
it.
Oh
No.
man.
Who
No,
got
Stop
more the
it.
conference right now?
The Big 12 is the best conference in basketball.
Big-
Easily.
Big 12 or Big 10?
Easily.
You say Big
Yeah, they
12?
got Baylor and all them.
Easily.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even the Big 10 better than the SEC.
Because Kentucky down, that's
That's
the reason. That's one reason.
I mean, it don't matter if Kentucky
Yeah,
was
man,
down or not this
Kentucky
year.
now. So okay, Kentucky is up this year. Who are your top teams? Kentucky, Alabama.
And who?
Kentucky, Alabama,
Tennessee?
Arkansas, good sometimes.
Arkansas not really
You
that
saying
good this year.
sometimes?
Texas A&M better than Arkansas this year.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
Auburn
Exactly.
got that.
Auburn
got
is not
O'Hara.
good this year.
They ain't gonna be down forever.
But okay, but
Coach
you
guy can coach.
Bruce Pearl.
Bruce Pearl, he come from Tennessee. You know what he did at Tennessee? He made some good
Yeah, he
runs.
cheated. That's what he did there.
Shit, they all
That's why he
cheat.
got. That's why he got fired. But the Big 12 is the best, bro. You got Baylor, the reigning national champion, Kansas. You got Kansas State. You got Texas. You got Texas Tech, who I know they're having a bad year this year, but 2 years ago that was in the Final Four. I mean, you got West Virginia, who TCU, who good. Oklahoma, who knocked off Alabama this year, blew them out pretty much. So I mean, that's easily the best. Yeah, the Pac-12 better than the SEC. With UCLA and Arizona and USC.
Yeah. To get back on topic though, as far as is the me and the best. Now I do want to say I didn't necessarily think this team was gonna make a tournament run, or because honestly I didn't think we was gonna even. I thought we'd have an answer by now from what Will Wade did. So you know what I'm saying, I ain't think the tournament was a possibility. But I will say this: coaching lacked at times. Talent like that times, because I don't think it's all.
And that's one thing Will Wade did, bring talent in there.
He brought talent, but he didn't
He
coach.
he underachieved with that talent.
Big time. You had you had Trey, bro. You had Tremont.
Hold on, how many tournament games Will Wade won?
Didn't he get suspended 1 year? Right?
Yeah, he got suspended.
His team still won.
Yeah, but he wasn't the coach.
So do you give credit? So y'all giving credit to that? Because if that's the case,
it's his team.
If that's the
But
case,
it's a different person coaching it.
So do we give?
You got ghosts in your hotel room.
No, I don't. That's the TV. It's like,
but that's
the
like. Do you not understand? Like, it ain't like football where you run in the system, and so it don't really matter if the head coach there or not. Like, this is totally different.
Hey, look, man.
Like, who's the one drawing up the plays? Who's the one drawing up plays? Will Wade ain't there. Tony Bedford did that.
Hey, Will Wade
Where's Tony at now?
got the talent. Yeah, Will Wade got the talent in there.
That's only half of the battle, bro.
Hey, we need talent.
And the talent,
like my boy Adam said, we lack
talent.
depth.
80% of basketball.
Talent is okay. So if LSU was so talented, why they ain't win nothing under Will Wade?
I mean, they was talented, but they wasn't.
Hold on, y'all just said he brought in talent. So don't just said he brought in talent. So which one is it?
He couldn't coach, but at least he brought in talent.
If talent is 80% of it, then why LSU ain't win nothing?
I feel at least he brought in talent. That's all I'm gonna say. Look, Matt McMahon, he had a tough year. All right, I think he got probably 2 more seasons to be this bad. By his 3rd season, if they don't pick it up and get better talent in, he's gonna be out by year 4. That's all.
Bad coaching and a lot of talent can still win national titles.
Name one.
Name it.
Name one.
Shit, how many Calipari won?
So you saying Calipari is a bad coach?
He ain't a good coach. If he don't got talent, what he doing? What Kentucky doing right now?
Making the tournament?
Will Wade made the tournament.
Just making the tournament.
Bro, you're not finna compare Will Wade to John Calipari.
I'm just saying.
I'm
just saying. You just said he making the tournament. I'm just saying.
You are not.
But I was gonna make the crossover to football.
Will won one tournament game at LSU. One.
In your words, he made the tournament.
Okay, John Calipari won more tournament games than Will Wade in 2 years.
Of course.
So
Calipari.
him to John Calipari then.
I'll tell you this: Calipari probably has missed less tournaments.
Guys, I am
tournament
not
wins.
saying that Will Wade is a better coach than John Calipari. I am
So
not
what?
saying
So
that. I'm saying that if Calipari does not have the talent.
You said Calipari was a bad coach who won with talent. So you saying Calipari is a bad coach?
I think John Calipari is an average coach. He's a good coach. He's not an excellent coach. He's a good coach.
So
think about all the talent that he's had.
Name a bad coach, because that's what Chris said. A bad coach can win with good players. So you just said Calipari was a good coach. So name a bad coach that's won with good players.
Chris, you said it, so you up.
I was gonna make the example of football.
We're not talking about football right now. We're talking about basketball.
But it's different.
It's
different.
different.
So you got a lot of other coaches on the team.
Calipari is still average, but yeah, I digress.
He is above average. He ain't average now. I don't think he on the level of
that boy said Coach O. That's funny. That's funny.
But he up there. He better than Will Wade.
I'm sure. I just want to say, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Calipari take because me and Mike said Coach Calipari always had an overabundance of talent at UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky, and can't win the big game. He's a number one recruiter and a marginal coach.
For sure.
Now he didn't at Memphis. Like he had more talent than Kansas.
Yeah, I just want to ask.
Rose.
Okay, that's one.
They go like 32. Then they go like 32 and like lost the last.
Do you know who Kansas had on that team?
No, you confusing Kansas with Kentucky. Kentucky went 33-1 or 37-1.
They went undefeated and won it all.
He had Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd, Gilchrist, and all them.
And Duke has
he won. That's the year he won the national championship.
Zion, Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett. I mean, it's plenty of loaded teams.
Yeah, but he consistently had loaded teams.
Duke win with rich white kids, bro.
Oh, Duke has more than one picks than Kentucky.
Oh,
Duke has more number one overall picks than Kentucky.
But Duke will have no more overall pick and won't have another one drafted. You got Kentucky that have Anthony Davis, Michael Kidd, Gilchrist.
When they had a number one overall pick and nobody drafted.
Huh?
When they had a number one pick and nobody else drafted. Because Zion and Cam Reddish, Zion, Cam Reddish, and RJ was all top 7 picks. And that was in 1 year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Then he had Brandon Ingram.
I forgot that was
yeah, Brandon Ingram, Jay Taylor, Martin Beck, Justin Winslow. All of them was top 5 picks.
Hey, can we talk about Ja Morant now?
Yeah.
Can we follow that? We do have a what's called. Don't listen. Your ass ain't been here. Don't come back trying to run stuff. Fall in line. We got a script. We literally have a script.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to help Chris out and his curve stuff.
That ain't helping. That ain't helping. I wore this shirt tonight on purpose. I knew y'all was gonna do this. I got a great feeling.
That's what we do,
man.
And Froze,
I think, though.
Yeah. Froze licking his lips.
That face was perfect too. That's exactly what. All right, Ant. Tell me. Let's you gonna we gonna save this for the end, huh?
Yeah. But
I ain't hear you came in choppy.
Unless y'all want to talk, we can save it.
Okay, we'll save it. All right. Ja Morant. Ja Morant is away from the Grizzlies for what is at least 2 games. Basically, I forget what day it was, but it was I think it was Friday or maybe even yesterday. Ja Morant went on Instagram Live and basically started posing with a pistol,
with a blicky,
with a firearm, and started dancing around and waving and stuff. I guess with he was voluntold to get help, and he's been listed as away from the team for at least the next 2 games. But he says different. He says he's out indefinitely.
Yep.
Thoughts?
I'll go
Can I go
first.
first?
I want to.
All right,
Go ahead, man.
No, you go ahead because I know you're gonna go hard. You go ahead.
Well, I think some of Ja's family members, brothers, big brothers, uncles, cousins.
He got a
Nobody-
daddy, Chris.
Anybody. I'm sure his daddy talking to him, his mama, somebody needs to sit down and talk to Ja and let him know how blessed he is to be in the position that he in. For one, he don't have to do any of that. He a millionaire. I don't know how old Ja is. I'm thinking he like 22,
23.
maybe 23. How many 23-year-old black kids millionaires? You doing something that the dudes you trying to act like trying to get away from. Carrying guns and all that. They getting shot up and all, and you in the NBA making millions, multiple houses, you know, a star, got deals, shoe deals, and you want to be in the streets, flashing guns. That's dumb. Let's trade. You can come out here and bang all you want. Let's get your spot, get my wife and kid, and we'll move to Memphis and give me a speed and your jumping ability, and we'll come up there and I'll show you how to do it.
Hey, can y'all imagine Chris being Ja Morant? But look, I'll say this. Ja Morant is a fool, bro. Like, his dad was in his life. His mom was in his life. From all aspects, from what we hear, he had a pretty good childhood growing up. His dad played college ball, I think, with Ray Allen. So his family is educated. He has a college degree. He was coached by our current LSU head basketball coach. So, I mean, it's like, I understand you give a young kid money and they go crazy, but to do this is a complete 180 from who he was whenever he came into the league. And I think it's something to where maybe he's possibly trying to be something that he's not, or he's just hanging around the wrong people. Because there's no way you can convince me that this kid think what he's doing is cool in any way. Like, in his right mind state.
I got a couple things. First of all, I don't necessarily think y'all wrong, but who say that his parents are enabling him this behavior? Because if you read the athletic report, his mom got into it with somebody at Foot Locker, Finish Line somewhere, and called. You know what I mean? And so, it doesn't seem to me as if he has anyone around him to hold him accountable for his actions. If anything, they're enabling him. Secondly, I can't say that this isn't who he has always been. We don't know these people, bro. There's been plenty of times where things have came out about athletes and we were surprised by it, but that's just who they are. So I think this is just possibly Josh showing us who he really is. And we can say that, he had a 2-parent household, he shouldn't be like that, but that doesn't always mean that people don't turn out this way just because they came from a 2-parent household. So I feel like there's a lot of presumptions being made about, the people around him and things of that nature that we don't really know. And there's a lot of presumptions being made about who he is and whether or not this is authentic or if he's trying to, impress someone or, he's trying to get stripes or whatever you want to call it. But I just think we really don't know any of the situation because we don't know Ja.
And let me ask you a question. What's the reason for Ja Morant holding up a gun in a picture or on whatever he was Instagram live? What's the reason behind that? Like, you can't tell me you're not trying to impress nobody. What's the point?
What the reason was? You got to ask Ja that. I can't speak for what he was doing that for, bro. I mean, people do stuff for all kinds of different reasons. I can't say he's trying to impress someone. There's plenty of people who take pictures with guns and stuff like that who aren't trying to impress people. That's just how they are. That's just who they are. That's their demeanor. That's their bravado. That's who they are.
I do. So everything y'all have said, I don't think anybody said anything wrong. I do have one thing, Chris, because we have had conversations about different subjects, completely different subjects. And a lot of times you'll say stuff like, hey, he's rich, you know what I'm saying? Why does it matter? Or something like that. Money don't solve all problems.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest issue. Just because he's got money, and as Ann said, well, this could have been who he's always been. But just because you have money, it don't change. It might disguise some stuff. But
Depends on who you really are.
Sometimes it make it worse.
Yeah. If you look at all this, I ain't gonna say all, a lot of celebrities who have passed away via suicide, but look how rich they are. That lots of, like, you know what I'm saying, money is not, you know what I'm saying, doesn't matter.
Chuck petty, boy.
Chuck very petty. Ryan asked a question in the chat. He says, why would you pose with a pistol, but does he really need to suspend it or reprimand it for that dumb ish? Let me answer that.
Why shouldn't he be suspended for that?
As far as why would he pose with a pistol, it could be a number of reasons, none of which would make sense.
Exactly.
But he did it, and now
it wouldn't make sense to us. But
it wouldn't make sense to us, exactly.
So,
but who would it make sense to it?
But that's the thing,
the person who's doing it.
The person who's doing it obviously had a reason why they did it, bro. Just because it doesn't make sense to you doesn't mean it didn't make sense to him.
Man, that boy trying to act hard, man.
Bro, you 200 million. Why are
I never said I don't
no world?
All right, bro.
Go ahead.
To him,
tell me this. Why you don't see guys like Luka Doncic and all them holding pistols up and all that?
Okay,
because they're not Ja.
First of all, Luka, they come from a different culture. Well,
Gilbert Arenas had guns in the locker room.
He
posed with a picture.
Keep going.
What? Because they come from a different culture.
Yep. Us black people need to get rid of that culture and get it out.
Chris, before you even go there, let me help you out. Is Lauren Boebert black?
I don't even know who that is.
She's a congressperson who takes pictures regularly.
NRA ain't black.
Yeah, she takes plenty of pictures with her machine guns, with her kids, with their AR-15s and stuff like that. When a lot of your friends with their hunting pictures, are they always black?
I understand what you're saying. Come on, Pooh. Come on, man.
Chris, let me ask you a question. When you say gangster movies, what's some of the first movies you name?
When I say it again, I'm sorry.
When you think gangster and mobster movies, what's name some of the first movies you think of?
Belly.
Would it be Scarface and Godfather? Name the black actors in there. Don't worry, I'll wait.
No.
So we can't sit here and say it's a black culture issue when all of America, there are more guns than people in America, literally. But we can't sit here and say it's a black culture issue when it's America. I get what you're saying. I just want to be responsible when we say stuff like that, and especially when four black men come out and somebody and one of us says, "Hey, you know what I'm saying, black people need to get rid of the gun." I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's not just a black culture issue. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm getting at.
I would say this though. I'm not going to. I think we're wrong if we're sitting up here saying that who knows what Ja was thinking whenever he posted the gun with it. It was wrong no matter what.
All right.
Ja Morant is someone, he's a superstar. He's soon to be possibly the face of the NBA. Possibly the face of the NBA. He's a role model to a lot of these kids. He's either way. It doesn't. He's a superstar in the NBA, bro. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. He's maxed out for Memphis. Either way, there's a lot of kids who's looking up to him. He has a large responsibility as a 23-year-old African-American man that grew up in a 2-parent household. I don't care what you say. He has a large responsibility, and he's being negligent with this. Whatever you say.
He's not like that's the problem, bro. Like he is not someone that we're supposed to look at and follow. He's a 23-year-old athlete. That's all.
Right. You're not, but they have kids who's watching
They have
Josh.
kids-
To whom
It's
much is
not
given.
Josh's problem.
Yes, it is. To whom much
No,
is
it's
given,
not.
much is required.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
We
It's
look,
not
If
hold
you
on,
have a
man.
platform like that, bro, it's your
It's not
responsibility.
Josh's fault. It's not Josh's fault. It's not Josh's fault that people look up to him. It's not. It's not, bro. Charles Barkley said it best. I'm a role model, and they're not. They're athletes. If your kids are looking up to athletes, part of the problem is you. Your kids shouldn't look up to athletes. They're humans just like me and you, bro.
Of course they are.
I don't see a problem
Me
with
and you,
looking up
bro.
to athletes, though. You're doing something legally, and you breaking generational curses by being rich. Why won't you want your
Doctors
kids to be
Doctors do the same
lawyers,
thing.
teachers.
But they
I
not
mean-
on TV. It's entertainment, though.
They don't have access to doctors, bro. They have
That's
access
whose fault
to
is
John
that?
Morant.
Whose fault is that? You can go to a hospital and see a doctor anytime. You
Hey,
can go
you
to
said, I get it.
go to-
You're saying this, bro, but this is
You can
reality.
do all of that.
This is reality. If you
And
never
reality
see it,
is-
if
and
you never
reality
see it,
is
you don't
part of
know,
the
bro.
problem is we're looking up to the wrong people. That is part of the problem.
100%. And that's one of the things Chris was just saying. Literally, that's one of the things he
not a
was
good
just
person
saying.
to look up to. LeBron James.
No,
Look at LeBron James, a family
no,
man.
okay, that's one. That's one. Look at Aaron
Steph Curry.
Hernandez. Look at Aaron Hernandez.
So who should they look up to, man?
Nobody was looking up to Aaron Hernandez.
Why they won?
I wasn't a fan of him.
That
Chris,
don't mean
you won.
Chris,
Chris,
other
he
people
was
that
literally about to be made the highest paid tight end in the NFL.
I don't
When
know
all that
nobody
stuff
who
happened.
just Aaron Hernandez. I still was hearing Grunk when he was there.
Man, stop it, bro.
Look,
Bro,
let me-
Grunk, the only reason Grunk got
we
the shine he
we
did-
getting away from the topic, man. We getting away from the topic. When Aaron was saying,
The point is, what he did dumb? Yes. Should he have done it? No. I agree with all of that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that just because he did this, just because he's an athlete, that people should be looking up to him. And this is part of the reason why. Because he's just a human being. He's gonna do dumb things, and he's gonna do
Yes.
what he shouldn't do. And that's why you shouldn't look up to anybody like that who's just a normal person who doesn't do anything but shoot a ball real good and jump real high. That's why you're looking up, because he can shoot a ball and jump high. That's the reason why people are looking up to him. Not
so why
because
look up to a doctor?
not because he's a good person.
He's saving
not
lives.
because he does stuff to
So
help
why-
heal people.
Lawyer.
Not because he helps heal people. Not anybody who does charity work, not anything like that. But look up to somebody who can run real fast and jump high. That's what we're
Bro,
gonna
come
look up.
on, bro.
That's what we're gonna look up.
Are you serious?
But
That's what we're gonna look up
Ed,
to.
come on, bro. How many TV?
Bro,
how
that's
many
pop
doctors
culture,
coming
bro.
on-
What are you talking about?
And that's the problem.
And you
Y'all
can't
is-
change that.
Yes, you can. Why you can't?
You can literally
You can literally change that.
you can literally
That's what I was trying to say about the gun.
turn the TVs off.
It's a
Have your
difference
kids
between
read.
holding your hunting rifle, shooting a deer, then going to the club and raising your gun in there. That's a difference.
Chris, let me ask you a question. In either point, when you're doing it, what are you glorifying? Having a weapon?
So you glorify. If I kill a deer, I'm glorifying me harvesting a deer that I'm gonna take back to my family or take it to a needy family, and they'll have a dinner for the rest of the year.
That's a difference between hunting being a sport and holding a gun because you're in a threatening way, bro. Like, come on.
We need to get
Who
that
you
out.
hunting? Who
What
you
we
shooting
do?
at? What
All right.
you
We
doing
need
it
to
for?
get
Like, let's
You're
be
missing
real,
the
bro.
point. You're missing the point here. Back to
Nah,
the
because that's two different things. Like we
Exactly.
glorify
I'm talking about-
BS. We glorify
That's true.
BS, bro.
part of that is glorifying athletes.
Of course, but not every athlete is a bad person.
Yes, that's the point. But a lot of them are, and so don't.
A lot of
glorify-
doctors, a lot of lawyers, a lot of volunteers. You have people that are good and there are people that are bad.
Okay,
Matt,
that's
if
cool.
I want to play basketball,
if somebody's a volunteer
gonna
in
look
the
up to
community,
top
the
player,
odds
bro.
of being a
But
bad
if you want to play basketball, if you want to play a sport, but why not give what? Okay,
I say basketball.
look at. All right, here we go. At the end of the day, regardless, you want to give your children exposure to so many more things so they know the different possibilities out there. I agree. There's nothing necessarily wrong with looking up to an athlete, but why not have also, saying, hey, you like science? Here's a scientist, a woman scientist, just like you, daughter. Or, hey, son, here's a doctor who has black skin just like you. You can look up to him instead of just saying, hey, there's an actor on TV or actress, or hey, there's a football player, and that's your options.
Well, let me say this. The fact is, us four, right? We're doing what we're supposed to do as men, as black men in this society. Positive, very positive men right here. Very positive. Every kid in America do not have people like us in their lives. My kid ain't gonna look up to Jon Morant. He's not. He's not gonna be I'm gonna go. No, he got his daddy right here. But everybody don't have. I didn't grow up with my dad, so guess who I looked up? I looked up to Glenn Dorsey. I looked up to different athletes because that's who I wanted to model my life after. Until I was exposed to lawyers, to doctors whenever I got older. But if I'm a kid at home and I don't have no one to teach me how to be a lawyer, or if I've never seen a lawyer in my, I don't know what it's like to be a lawyer, but I see Jon Morant playing basketball.
Daniel, that was literally the whole point. You didn't have those people to look up to. So what's wrong in saying that?
I'll say this though. Why you're right about that. Like as an athlete, that their job isn't to be a role model. They don't get paid to be a good example for people. They get paid to put the basketball in the hole. They get paid for touchdowns, whatever the case may be. So
the good person would be just an added bonus.
The good person is just a benefit of that. That's who they are. So you can't. I personally am not mad at Jon Morant for failing as a role model because that's not his job. I'm mad at Jon Morant because he did some dumb stuff. The fact that he failed as a role model is just a consequence of the dumb stuff that he did. But that
what I think?
Responsibility.
You know what I think? I think Ja just knew that he was gonna have to face Golden State in the second round, so he just went on ahead and copped out.
Golden State on the losing streak.
Hey, by the way, Chris, you ain't been here when how's Golden State on the road?
Terrible.
They played on the road today. They played the Lakers too without LeBron. Curry was back. Curry was back. And they still
we have him for Anthony Davis, but we still fifth in the West. But yeah. Okay.
It's gonna be that slide. Speaking of sliding, Dallas on the 5-game skid.
People.
I think they won. I think they beat Philadelphia before then. They would.
Before.
Hey, just get them boys some time, man.
Okay.
Let them get on the side.
They ain't got much time because they play off that way.
Yeah, I know that, right? It's two sides. You can't just scout about it. You gotta stop people too, right?
Yeah, you gotta play defense. That ain't gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work in playoffs, man.
They ain't got no defense.
They're gonna better score 40 apiece every night.
They ain't got no defense.
Hold on.
I'm rooting for Kyrie. I'm rooting for Kyrie. That's my boy.
Man, Kyrie did.
I mean, that's fine and dandy, but you rooting for him ain't gonna make him a better defender.
Hey, you get it together. Kyrie know how to defend.
I didn't say he didn't know how to defend.
We know defenses is all about want to. You gotta want to play.
And
defense.
he just want to.
And Luka ain't the best defender either.
Luka doesn't want to either.
They can score 40 all night. They ain't gonna be able to do that.
If you look at if you take the top 2 players from every team, right? So let's take, Luka, Kyrie, Booker and KD, Steph and Clay, Jokic and Murray, and who else? LeBron, AD, whoever you want to pick. Kyrie and Luka play the worst defense of any of the best of the pairs in the West.
Yep.
And when you pair that with the fact that the rest of their team isn't just locked down either. I was telling you for sure, but I was strictly speaking of the West. But if you pair them, like the rest of their team isn't locked down. It ain't like they got a Robert Williams. It ain't like they got a Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday. Like they don't have a lockdown defender. They traded their best wing defender to get Kyrie.
Right. They ain't got no Gary Payton, Andrew Wiggins. Feel me? Draymond Green.
They ain't played no defense lately.
Kuminga.
Man,
they ain't played no defense.
Play no defense.
They ain't played no defense lately.
Reinforcements coming. They coming.
You gonna need them.
Y'all gonna be in the playing game.
But yeah, Dallas got some pride.
Yeah, they traded away they bench. They ain't got no deep bench either. So it'll be tough. It'll be
They
tough
got
on
Kyrie,
them.
that's and Reggie
First
Bullock.
round exit.
Reggie Bullock. That's what they got. I ain't gonna
I
say
said
first.
first round exit.
I gotta see who they matchup be. Because if they play Golden State, they swacking now.
Man, heck no. That's a 3. That's a 4-1.
Yeah,
4-1.
bro, I'm just playing.
They playing the wrong team not to be able to play defense. You gotta be able to play some defense.
For sure.
It depends on what Memphis look like. It depends on, some other things, man. Because
Shit, if the NBA kicked Ja out for the rest of the season, Memphis done.
I mean, well, Memphis coach said that there's no timetable for when he'll be back. So we'll see.
They probably he could be back. He gonna play and play y'all.
The NBA, getting him for having a gun on the team plane though.
Wait, what you said?
The NBA investigating him for having a gun on the team plane.
Mm-hmm. Sure, it's out of Memphis's hands now.
Yeah.
All right.
For that issue, yeah.
Hey, I want to move to a little football. NFL Combine was this past weekend. K-Shun ran a 4.67. He said
a 4.5.
Well, he did. He ran a 4.5, then a 4.67. Then what was his third one?
He only ran 2, I think.
Oh, okay.
He should have never ran any.
I'm so glad y'all brought me back for this episode.
K-Shun Booty will not be a first round dog.
Yeah.
What?
I told you. What?
Hold on. Who said that? Who said that? Ant said
I said that.
Oh my God. I can't believe it.
Whenever I made the statement that he was gonna be a first round pick, I said he's gonna go to the combine, he's gonna run a 4.3. And that was my premise.
Say that.
My premise was out.
And man, Daniel did tell you he ain't running that.
My premise was based on him having a great combine. We all thought he was gonna run a 4.3, 4.4.
We told you.
Man, that boy there over with.
I can't.
All year.
Yeah, I can't say that I thought he was gonna run a 4.67. But I didn't. He didn't look like he didn't play like he ran a 4.3 this past season. He just didn't.
Well, see,
he looked slow.
I mean, I agree with that, but I figured he would have done more training to get ready for the combine and show the speed that we all know he's capable of.
Is he still hurt though?
Man, y'all quit. That man been hurt since April, man. Stop it. Last April, been
Chris, you know the injury he had though?
Yeah, an Achilles, right?
Ankle injury, did it?
When is Achilles?
Yeah.
If you hurt, run then though, bro. Like that's the thing. Like
I mean, I don't know if it was necessarily hurt. I just don't think he's I don't think he never healed, fully healed. That's when y'all was saying, oh, he looks slow. I thought, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't himself, but I think as throughout the season, he got picked up on speed.
Yeah, because I mean, how many times he came out of the game and he was limping? You know what I'm saying? Like
that Georgia game, he looked back. You know what I mean? Like, man, yes, he did. When he caught that pass in between them two defenders and scored, like he looked back. Now, I'm not gonna say he looked like he was running a 4.2 or nothing like that, but he showed more speed than we've seen all season. So it looked like
he showed more speed for sure.
Yeah, so I was thinking, based off what I saw at the end of the year, him training for the combine, he was gonna run a 4.3, 4.4. And if that was the case, I thought he would be a first round pick. He get out here run a 4.5 and a 4.67. He's not a first round pick no more. I mean, even a pro day running a 4.3 can't save it.
Well, that was my next question. Can a pro day help his stock, or is his, you know what I'm saying, he just destined for late rounds now?
It can help him a little bit.
It can help him, but it ain't bumping him back into the first round. That's for sure.
No. With the off-season issues, with the combine, with the season, he just got too many negative things going against him right now, bro.
I say this, like it does help that a lot of receivers didn't run great times. Like the Dale boy from Houston ran a 4.5 and he was projected to run a 4.3 or 4.4. So you know what I mean, there's Rice ran a 4.5. Like there's a lot of receivers who ran slower than was projected. Sure. So I would it ain't gonna hurt as bad because there's a lot of receivers who ran slower than projected, but And I mean, it
40 times.
wasn't me. It wasn't just the 40. He had like a 29 vert, like you know what I mean,
which tells you his explosion is terrible.
no explosion. Yeah,
Right.
He like his RAS score was terrible.
I don't think
And which
40 times
means
should be a big factor on somebody anyway.
in his situation, it is. Just because of the seat, like I get it. Like the combine to me, honestly, it's overrated. You know what I'm saying, for the most part. But whenever you're looking at a player in his situation, you want to do well at the combine because he didn't have the season that he needed to have. He just didn't. He came in a top 10 pick, possibly. He came in the season possibly being a top 10 pick.
I ain't gonna say top 10. I'll say number one receiver on the board, though. I will give you that.
Which is possibly a top 10 pick.
Okay, but you know, receivers usually don't go top 10. I'm with you though. You know, it's borderline right around that range. So yeah, he didn't have a terrible season based off his projections. Numbers wasn't at the combine wasn't good either. So I mean, he gonna need it
for sure. And what Holden Lee said, Jarvis Landry had the worst combine of any wide receiver when he did it. But they're two different style of players.
Two totally different players. One relies on athleticism, one relies on physicality.
Exactly.
K-Sean came into LSU supposed to be this big time speed guy.
He was. He was a track guy. He was a track guy with great indoor and outdoor track numbers. And his freshman year, we saw that. But once the injury, we just took his explosiveness.
What you're looking at right now, K-Sean is Trayvon Durrell. 100%. Trayvon Durrell was one of the fastest players in the state. After his freshman season, once he got hurt, he was never the same player again. I'm not saying that K-Sean is going to be the
when he get hurt his freshman season.
Whenever he either got hurt his freshman or sophomore season, Trayvon Durrell.
When he landed,
that was like his junior senior year.
Nah, bro, that was his sophomore year.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Not that he got hurt. I tell you, because the next year he went to the draft. No. He was like he didn't come out that year because he was healing up, and the next year he ended up going to the draft.
I know Trayvon personally. No, it was his sophomore year.
Okay,
yeah, but explosion. He didn't have the same explosion, bro.
I agree, and that's why I say he ain't a first round pick no more, because I thought he was still so explosive. But back to the question of how important is the combine, I think it depends on the player.
Yeah,
it's important for a guy like Anthony Richardson.
Definitely.
Which is overrated. Oh my god!
For a guy like Young, it's not really important, because the only thing that matters for him is how well he interviews. Like Julian said, what's important for the combine is it's the interviews. That's true for like Bryce Young. It's interviews and the weigh in. For Anthony Richardson, it's the 40, showing his explosiveness and all that, and the interviews.
Especially for sure.
Yeah, you know, for Jalen Carter, it's the interviews, especially at, you know what I mean? So I think it all depends on the player. And if you, like some of these guys, like the Saints, for example, they put a whole bunch of stock in the RS, the athleticism of a player. And so if that's the case, the combine is very important to a team like the Saints, because that shows them how athletic you are in the shuttle and the cone and the bench. You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stuff. Other teams put more stock in, you know, what you've done for a game, like the Patriots. They want people who, you know, game reps and, you know what I mean, and scheme fit and all that. So the combine isn't as important to a team like the Patriots. So I think it matters who the player is, as far as like how important it is from their standpoint, and which team it is for how important it is from their standpoint.
I just want to. No, I was going to say, Trayvon Durrell played in 7 games his freshman year, 13 his sophomore year, 9 and 9. So 13 is a full season. So he didn't get hurt his sophomore year. It was against Ole Miss.
It showed he got hurt against Ole Miss in those stats you read.
If he played 13 games, how he gonna play 13 games? We didn't play Ole Miss the last game of that season.
Either way, once he got hurt, the fact still remains. Once he got hurt,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, he got hurt. I remember him going up for that catch, coming down
and coming back, and it was a wrap for him after that.
Yeah,
but I'll say this: I forgot what you was talking about because Pooh Bear had to come in and you know.
No, I was just talking about the combine. It only matters. It matters like depending on the player and depending on the team.
Stop doubting me.
How much value in the combine depends on, you know, who the person or who the team is. It's like case by case basis.
Let me ask you guys this: would y'all draft Anthony Richardson?
Number
Top
one
5
overall.
quarterbacks. Top 5
Top
quarterbacks. I wouldn't even go
quarterback.
there. I say top 5 quarterbacks.
No,
Yes.
Is he in your top 5 quarterbacks? Wow.
Is he in my top 5 quarterbacks? Yes. Top 5 players? No. Quarterbacks?
Of course
Yes.
not.
Name me 5 quarterbacks in this class better.
Levis.
CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. You got from Kentucky.
That's Levis.
Levis.
I don't agree with that, but I give
Stetson
you
Bennett throw
Levis.
the ball better than him.
Who?
Stetson Bennett's not better than him, though.
I said throw the ball.
I know. I heard you.
5 quarterbacks, Chris. I don't want to hear who throw the ball. Name 5 quarterbacks better than him.
You got to put.
Let me ask you a question. Why is it? How can you say Stetson Bennett is not better than Anthony Richardson?
It is not Anthony.
How can I say? Because he's not athletic.
Because
not as athletic.
Like him.
He's not as athletic. No. It's a difference in the NFL and college. A big difference.
In this league, you need to be
better college quarterback, 100%. But NFL prospect, absolutely not.
Okay, prospect.
Yeah.
Prospect, we all know that has to do with measurables and different things like that. But we cannot sit up here and say that Stetson Bennett is not a pro player, a better pro player than they haven't played pro ball yet. And Stetson Bennett had a better college career than Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Bennett is a better one than Anthony Richardson if they haven't played yet.
And if you want to talk about better college career, Tebow had a better college career than Matt Flynn. Matt Flynn got way better stats than Tebow and then played in less games.
Tom Brady didn't even play in college really. And I mean,
he did beat Alabama that time. I remember that.
I mean, he played.
Only reason is because he probably gonna run. What did he run? Did he run a 40?
He ran a 4.4.
He ran a 4.4 quarterback.
40-inch.
He got 40-inch vert, and he can throw the ball 70 yards.
And 6'4", 250.
Yeah, so he's gonna be able to run the ball.
What do you mean?
Get you out of trouble.
There's tons of players who can. There's tons of players who can do who have
done.
Please
name. Please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Taysom Hill.
Taysom
Hill is not 6'4", 250.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I just don't think you got to be able to throw the ball, man. I know you can have all.
53 QB, terrible, bro.
53 what?
Completion percentage.
Okay, well, look up Josh Allen's.
Now, mind you,
he in the NFL though, bro.
Look up Josh Allen's in Wyoming when he was at Wyoming. Look up Josh Allen's.
And look at the athletes he played with. And look who he played with. Come on, man.
Hey, come on.
Name Florida receivers for me from this past season. Name Florida receivers from this past.
For Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
He had number 1. He had number 2.
Name them. No, name them. Don't give me name them.
Hey, we can look it up. But hold on.
You watch all this college football, Chris, and you can't name them?
That's all right. That's not his team, though. That ain't his team.
Chris can name people on every team in the SEC, but he can't name Florida receivers.
I ain't gonna let you get on my boy like that. But look, I'm gonna say, hold on. So we're comparing. Hold on. We're comparing Anthony Richardson to Stetson Bennett. That's who we were talking about earlier, right? So Anthony Richardson.
Hold up.
Because we're talking about who had a better college career.
Hey, quick
question.
Nothing
quick you said.
We're talking about who's a better college player.
No, you didn't. You said who is the better pro quarterback is what you said.
Because you asked about top 5.
I never said who was the better.
You said, oh my God.
They never played pro games yet.
5 quarterbacks in this class better than Anthony Richardson.
You do know speculation and like that's a part of like what we saying most sports people do. They project, oh, this person will be great this here. Oh, this person will be great such and such.
So let me do this. Do you draft based off what they did in college, or do you draft based off what you think they're gonna be in the NFL?
What they possibly can do. But he is not even a proven commodity. He had all this hype and he flopped. He was terrible this past season, bro.
Yeah, he did.
He was terrible.
He was terrible. That's what I said. He should be.
Hey, quick question. Did you ever look up that Josh Allen?
No, he didn't, because it's gonna prove my point.
No, because that wasn't my argument.
Man, Josh Allen.
I can look it up. Because it's gonna prove my point.
You ain't gotta look it up. I look it up. I already looked it up.
What is it?
It's
He
gonna
played at
prove my
Wyoming
point.
pool. It don't matter.
Why it don't matter? It's inaccuracy
Because
is
he
inaccuracy.
played with way less athletes.
Inaccuracy is
He
inaccuracy.
played with guys.
And he
Chris,
played
so let me
against
ask you a
worse
question.
athletes too,
Chris,
right?
so let me ask you a question. Can people in the MAC catch footballs? Can they catch, or they don't have
They
wide
can
receivers
catch
just drop all the
them,
ball?
So
What about
is he going against? So is
what
he,
about
was
Mount
he in the
West
WAC
conference?
Was Josh Allen in the WAC going up against the SEC defenses, or was he in the WAC going against WAC defenses?
Literally whack.
So I mean, you talking about the receivers he got? Look at who he going against. You got
sit up.
Florida.
Once again, you are right. Josh Allen.
Florida arguably had the worst receivers in the SEC last year.
Okay, but did you see him throw the ball?
4 touchdowns. Our receivers only had 4 touchdowns overall.
Wait.
Ray had 6. What are you talking about?
I thought it was only 4
touchdowns. He literally how many touchdowns did he throw for?
Yeah, DeRay had 6, and everybody else had 1 apiece. DeRay had 6, everybody else had 1 apiece. Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors didn't have but 1. He didn't score all his touchdowns until Purdue.
How the hell did we even get over
That's
here?
That's not true.
I bet their receiver core had more touchdown catches than our receiver core had.
You including the tight end in that? You including a tight end?
No,
in that?
I said receivers, tight end receivers.
Okay, I'm including receivers, people who catch the ball. I'm including all of that together. Name me a team that had worse receiver, including tight end, than Florida in the SEC.
If you include tight end, probably nobody. Probably put
Anthony Richardson is overrated.
Vanderbilt.
I will say he's overrated, but
I'm not saying he's overrated. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying is like what they got around them matters. Like you can't just look at their stats and just say that's who he is.
I get it. I can take that argument for Levis at Kentucky. 100% I can.
Why
he wasn't playing? Because I watched him play in some of those games last year for Florida, and he was terrible, bro.
Will Levis wasn't great neither. Will Levis couldn't even start at Penn State.
More promise than Anthony Richardson.
Based off
of his play. Based off his eye test. Not based off numbers.
You talking about just as a passer? Just as a passer?
As a complete player, as a passer, everything. As a quarterback,
you talking about
Levis looked better than Anthony Richardson, bro.
No, not as a complete player. Because Anthony Richardson breaking 80-yard touchdown runs, you can't take that out of it.
Oh my gosh, that's overrated.
You can't take that out, but we're playing quarterback. He ain't gonna better break it. Well, I ain't gonna say he
exactly. He ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do it every game.
You can't. Who can't? Why you can't?
Can he stand in the pocket?
Josh Allen.
Get his wide receiver right there.
Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts doesn't they take a team to the Super Bowl? With running the ball?
Jalen Hurts is a way better passer than him.
Okay.
Was he always a good passer?
He always a great passer.
Even Jalen
Hurts. At this point in time, he was a better passer.
Hold on.
Was Cam Newton always a great
coming out of college was a better passer than Anthony Richardson. Way better.
I'll give you that.
He's way further ahead.
I'll give you that. He said Jalen Hurts coming out of college.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But
can't compare him to Lamar Jackson because he passed better than some of the other quarterbacks in the league.
Cam Newton, how good of a passer Cam Newton was?
He was better than Anthony Richardson.
He's better than Anthony Richardson.
But that's your answer. So, all right. How many people?
You are not about to compare Cam Newton to Anthony Richardson.
Better than Anthony Richardson.
Matter of fact, hold on.
Nobody said good. Nobody said good. All right, your standard is better than Anthony Richardson.
Hold on.
That's your standard.
But hold on. Because we're talking about Anthony Richardson. But hold on. Cam Newton didn't have no wide receivers. None. So I don't even want to hear that argument. So, and Cam Newton won the Heisman, right? Got his team to the Come on, bro. I don't want to hear no Cam Newton and Anthony Richardson. They ain't even on the same. They ain't even in the same city.
Did I say he was Cam Newton?
Don't even start. Don't even start.
I just asked you one question. I asked how good of a passer was Cam Newton. Cam Newton wasn't a great passer.
Man, he was better than AR.
I'm not saying he wasn't, but what I'm saying is there have been plenty of quarterbacks who weren't great passers who have been taken high in the draft.
Of
and you
course.
asked me what Anthony Richardson being my top 5 quarterbacks in this class, and
hey, let me ask this question, yes or no, and we can move on. Let me ask this question. Was Mitchell Trubisky a better athlete, or I mean, excuse me, was his potential better than Anthony Richardson, Mitch Trubisky?
Talking about like as far as
coming out of college,
as a prospect, he had a lot of hype. He had a lot of hype.
He had a lot of hype. Mitch Trubisky had a lot of hype.
Coming out of college, yeah. During the combine time, yeah.
So did he have more potential than Anthony Richardson?
Wait. You said Trubisky did not have hype coming out of college.
No,
not like that. But again,
I wasn't here. When they traded up and drafted Mitchell Trubisky, everybody said, "What the hell are they doing?"
He was a better prospect than Anthony Richardson.
Oh, all right, let's move on.
Oh my
bro, the only reason you like Anthony Richardson is because he ran a 4.4 and he could jump high.
Oh my
I'm not even so I'm be honest with you.
And he can throw the ball 80 yards.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even a Anthony Richardson fan. I think he's overhyped, but he got more potential than Mitch Trubisky. Definitely has more potential than Mitch Trubisky. He's not Cam Newton, but it's the same as far as like prototypical style.
Let me ask one thing. All right, so Josh Allen wasn't accurate, and once he got the right coaches in the NFL, his accuracy improved. Daniel Jones wasn't accurate. Once he got the right coach in the NFL, his accuracy improved. Why are we assuming that Anthony Richardson's accuracy can't improve?
It can.
Okay, so how do you? That's some hating
because we've seen this type of player 1,000 times, bro.
Bro, you've seen every type of player.
Please name them. You're saying we've seen 1,000 times. Name them,
bro. We've seen players that come in and go crazy at the combine, put up crazy numbers, and they get to the NFL and they flop.
So
that's all I'm saying.
We haven't seen a quarterback.
Tons. Come on, man. I'm not about to go through that.
Running a 4.4. Name them. Name 6'4" quarterbacks weighing 250 that ran a 4.4. Name them,
bro. Who was the quarterback that LSU? I mean, that the Saints had on their roster that played. I think he played for BYU. He played for Coach Kelly. I can't even think of his name, but he was a super dude. He was, yes, good athlete. I don't know his numbers, but good athlete.
Stop it, bro.
Good athlete.
Stop it.
Ian Book wasn't a good athlete.
Stop it.
What was his numbers coming out of college?
Stop it.
Yeah,
what was his numbers coming out of college?
He had some pretty decent numbers, but it was not. Nobody was out.
Come on, man.
Stop it, bro.
You name somebody that went undrafted, bro.
Stop it, bro.
Anthony Richardson deserves to go undrafted.
6'4", 250 running a 4.4, and you compare him to Ian Book.
Put him at running back. Since you so impressed with how fast he is, put him at running back.
Stop it, bro.
Put him at running back. Since you saw him, put him at wide receiver. Put him at tight end.
Wow.
How am I a hater?
Hey, let's move on. Let's move on, man. My food.
Ian Book and Anthony Richardson.
Ian Book was a terrible take right there, buddy.
Ian Book.
Hey.
Some things will never change.
Anthony Richardson a run for his money.
Some things will never change. Daniel, you don't even believe that at all. You literally are just saying anything right now. You don't believe that.
Hey, look out, man.
All right. Did y'all see Travis Kelce on Saturday Night Live? Or see the clips of it?
I heard about it. I heard he went off.
Yeah, he did a little monologue kind of messing with his brother about the Super Bowl. So it was funny. So anyway, I know y'all saw this though. Jon Big Boned Jones returned to the Octagon
for sure
in a big way.
For sure.
That boy can't. He heavy. He
Guillotine.
heavy.
Ain't
Is
fighting
he
2
my heavy
years.
or your heavy, fool?
Nah, he's 260. He was like 260.
He about the size of Zion Williamson. Zion probably bigger than him, huh?
But he came back though, so you can't compare him to Zion. He participated in his event.
Motherfucker ain't fought in 3 years, Chris.
That is true.
Still compared to Zion, he ain't played.
He still came back and did his thing though.
He ain't played.
Oh, you breaking up.
For
Hey,
real.
You broke up, Ant.
He ain't do it.
I ain't want to do it. I ain't want to pull a topic on Zion because I ain't want Ant to feel like
Talk
I
about
was being
James
picked.
Wiseman. You remember him?
Damn, what he say? He broke up.
Yeah, Ant breaking up. I can't hear.
Hey, what you said?
We can talk about Zion right after we talk about James Wiseman.
He in Detroit doing his thing.
I thought he in Detroit, Chris. I thought he was next great thing.
He didn't fit. He didn't fit what we was trying to do.
Okay. He was.
what y'all trying to do? Play games? Because he definitely ain't fitting them.
Sound like the same storyline Anthony
He
Richardson
was
gonna have
in
in 2
D
years.
League, man.
All right, y'all done? Because it's back to Jon Jones. Jon Jones. They asked him about fighting Stipe Miocic, who was the heavyweight champion prior to losing it to Francis Ngannou. He said, "Hey, if you want to get it on at International Fight Week, sign the papers." Then Francis Ngannou sent a message, said, "Good job, little Johnny or Johnny boy." He said, "Sincerely, the heavyweight champ, a heavyweight king." And Jon Jones replied, "Francis is a beep with a P word." So.
Yeah. They better quit playing with that boy. Jon Jones is not to be played with. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Pound for pound, right now in the UFC, he's the best fighter.
Yeah.
Pound for pound?
Yes. But you know it's so funny watching Daniel Cormier, and all those fighters he smashed. Sit up there and talk about how good he was. That was hilarious.
I don't know. I gotta see it. I gotta see more because Gon is a terrible wrestler. He let Francis out wrestling him, so we all knew what was coming whenever he facing a better wrestler than Jon Jones. So I'm not trying to take nothing away from Jon. He's the GOAT, but right now I gotta see if he's still that same guy. Last night really ain't show me much.
I still think I can chime in. I don't know.
I mean, he ain't fought in 3 years, and he fought a dude who ain't really got great wrestling. So, I mean, Gon is great, but I want to see him with Stipe. If he take care of Stipe, then I believe he really bad.
He's still the greatest ever.
For sure.
If he got an asterisk beside it. He got an asterisk beside it, you know what I mean? But he's great.
Anderson Silva at his prime was elite. I think Jones got him beat though. I'll be honest with you.
I mean, Usman to me is the greatest ever. But I mean,
the only reason I said Anderson Silva because I played with him on UFC.
Jon Jones, hey, my boy Dave said Jon Jones gotta stay clean, man. Like that's the biggest thing with it. Always have an asterisk beside it because of it.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
And just cocaine, PD.
All right. That's it. We ready to before we get ready to go to Octagon? Anybody else got anything? Man, I'm done with this.
What's the sales ranked in the West right now?
GSP, yes.
That's George St. Pierre, whatever his name.
Mm-hmm.
He was the most boringest fighter I ever seen in my life.
Oh, though.
Anybody gonna kill him?
Chris, when Zion come back, I will entertain that argument.
You got Google, man.
I just really want to know. I'm really asking. I ain't been.
Bro, when Zion come back,
then Google it.
All right, I'm gonna Google it. We're gonna talk this time.
Hey, what just call me Chris?
All right, y'all. All right, listen, y'all just making up shit now. Just I'm here to get y'all up out of here. Who going first?
Daniel.
All right.
Nah, like, wait, I'm going first? All right. I can't stand y'all. Drew Rosenhaus, please come to the altar. Please. So a lot of y'all may not know who Drew Rosenhaus is, but he's possibly one of the best sports agents in the game. Drew Rosenhaus has represented T.O., Ocho Cinco, Warren Sapp, and Antonio Brown. Great players, but they all have something in common. They're a little crazy. Anyways, and whenever it comes to negotiating, Drew Rosenhaus is probably one of the best in the game to ever do it. Now, you may be asking, why are you talking about Drew Rosenhaus? This is an LSU-based, Louisiana-based sports podcast, HBCU-based podcast. Why are you talking about him? Well, Drew Rosenhaus also represents Keyshawn Boutte, right? We still love Keyshawn, still cheering for him. Hope that he does well when it comes to him pursuing his NFL dreams. But back to Drew. You knew Keyshawn wasn't running no damn 4-3. You have represented some of the best players to ever lace up and catch and tackle somebody in the NFL. I mean, one of the best. My question to Drew is, how could you let our nephew, Keyshawn, go out to the combine and put up such booty numbers, booty performance? The best advice that Drew should have gave Keyshawn was just to sit this one out. You know, being that he's represented the best of the best, he should have known that Keyshawn was going to go out and perform like that and bring bad light. If you don't believe that Keyshawn right now badly represented himself, search Google search it. Google search Keyshawn Boutte right now and see what comes up. The top 5 articles. So my thing is, Keyshawn, yes, you have one of the best representing you in the game. But if I'm you, I'm firing Drew Rosenhaus. That's all I'm saying. Because he made you look like a fool, brother. You should have not ran a 40 or jump. You should have waited till your pro day. Should have healed. Should have ran and worked on them quick twitch muscles. Because yesterday's performance was embarrassing. That's all I got to say. Terrible.
Dang. I thought it was Octagon, not Sunday school.
Stop hating, Chris.
That's a good Octagon.
Chris, you ready?
Mr. Drew. Yeah, I'm good. Let's go. Well, I was going to bring in Ja Morant, but we pretty much had a good conversation about him earlier. I was going to just say, man, somebody's going to have to get in his ear. I know if I had a little brother that's playing in the league or nephew or something, I seen him struggling to lead a hood life alone, whatever he's trying to do. We obviously know he ain't from the hood because he got pictures with his mama and spring pictures from school. Like me, I ain't from the hood or nothing. I guess people wouldn't consider it, but you know, I'm not out there showing guns and stuff trying to prove somebody wrong. Dude, that ain't nothing but trouble. Leave it alone. Let it stay where it's at. And you're in the wrong city doing it. We don't want you to get hurt out there trying to prove something you ain't. You play in the NBA. You ain't a part of NBA young boy. So stop it. Just play basketball or do something. Don't do that. You can do whatever you want. Go to strip club or something. Don't show your guns and try to act like you hard and shoot at people after they make a shot on your teammate make a shot. They already looking at you. Why would you do it? That's all I got to say.
I'm glad the Pelicans have Ja. He's been posted out in the East somewhere.
Oh, man.
Somebody took his blicky and shot him with it.
You going next?
Well,
I'm going next.
Yeah, let me go ahead and go, man. All right, let me go ahead and let's go ahead and roll this real quick.
that situation's on me. We addressed as a team. As soon as I brought it up to them, they immediately understood how it could be interpreted, and we all felt awful about it. They explained to me that it's like when TSA checks you before you get on a plane, and now Brandon's cleared for takeoff. We, as the adults in the room, should have been more sensitive to how it could have been interpreted. And I dropped the ball. That's it. I dropped the ball on it. We've addressed it. I can assure you it won't happen again.
All right, yeah, Coach Nate Oates. If you're not familiar with what he's talking about this actually happened last week, but it was prior to entering the game during they're calling this, the call outs. Brandon Miller walked up to his teammate, and his teammate did a pat down on him. For those of you in the know, Brandon Miller is currently thought of as a person possibly involved in a shooting of a young lady on the strip in Tuscaloosa. This was and Nate Oates, he owned the fact that it was a bad look. He owned the fact that the adults failed to realize what was going on. And I give him kudos for that. My problem with this whole thing with Nate Oates is you dropped the ball a lot. Messages you sent out, whether verbal or nonverbal. Me and Ant talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I kind of disagree with some of it, but looking at it now, it's gone too far. A game suspension, 2 game suspension would have sufficed to, at least, as Ant said, show that that you cared enough to do a real investigation. But you didn't. You did nothing. You've made excuses. You stuck up, which I granted you should take up for your players, but you've also provided no accountability. You made it seem like it's okay, and no matter what goes on through life, as long as you can make a jump shot, we'll find a way to excuse it. And that's just not the right image that you need to be giving off right now. Nate Oates, man, you got to do better. Teams and coaches all around, we got to do better, because at sometimes we always let these kids go, and we gotta step up. So that's it.
Couldn't agree more, bro. Couldn't agree more. I'm gonna try to end this thing on a positive note. So go and drop that video when you get a chance, bro. For those who don't know, that is LSU commit Michaela Williams in her last game in high school in the state championship game yesterday against Ponchatoula. She finished with a smooth 34 points and 11 rebounds, including one nice buzzer beater before half right there. But to me, that wasn't the most impressive thing from yesterday from Miss Michaela Williams. The most impressive thing was right after that buzzer beater she hit at halftime, she had to run back on the court to accept her award for academic All-State. Michaela Williams has never made a B in high school. She's a 4.0 student for her entire high school career. Before she decided to play basketball in college, she was actually committed to ULL as a softball commit. So multi-sport athlete with a 4.0, amazing career, Michaela Williams, probably the greatest women's basketball player in the state since Simone Augustus. She was able to win state championship in her last game, avenging last year's overtime loss to the same Ponchatoula team. And this year, it really wasn't close, partially due to the way Michaela came out, from the beginning and just asserted her will and made sure that her team was coming home with the victory. So kudos to you, Michaela. Kudos to all the women who won state championships this past weekend, especially Michaela and the Wiseman Wildcats from Monroe, who smacked up on Albany down there by where Chris from. So they got their back-to-back. So kudos to Michaela, kudos to Wiseman, and all the young women who won state championship this weekend. We waiting on the boys this week. Let's see who's going to bring it home.
We'll see y'all in the dome this year.
Wiseman about boys and girls. About to bring him back up this way, man. Rustin finna win 5A too. Oh, Division 1, my bad. So yeah, we about to
Who
bring
they play?
him
Who
back
they
through
play
on
in
that.
5A?
I know that Washita Walker's still in it. I forgot who Rustin played though. But they
Who from down south making noise?
Oh, Ant froze again.
but they play on the other end. Well, I don't care who making noise from down there.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
froze.
think they were gonna beat Ponchatoula like that.
Why not?
I didn't think they were. I just did.
Do
I
you know
thought
who
they were gonna
McKay
win.
is?
I know she's good, but last year she
You
played
saying
good.
you need to be
What happened?
happening to Albany. That's what you be talking about. Cause
I don't like
Young,
Albany, so I
we
hope-
coming. Wiseman coming back. Everybody coming back.
I hate Albany. I hope they lose everything.
Ring them again next year. About 3 people, y'all.
They beat all girls so bad.
What? Hey,
Wow.
don't take it personal. Don't do it to everybody.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We will be back on on Wednesday night. Y'all got anything for get up out of here?
Nah, man. Hey, it was good to be back on with y'all. And
It was good. It was good. I like getting Ant blood pressure high.
right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Like that. We out.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.
Golden Boot!